everybody? Johnny from All Around Boxing here. I'm here with Andre Rodriguez, also known as Drizzle. And I like saying your name like that, your nickname, Drizzle, man. That's such a unique nickname, man.
Yeah.
I've never heard of something like that, Drizzle.
Me neither, man.
He's a pro fighter. He's 7-0 with 4 KOs. And I met you at a Thunderbolt event. You sat there in the pocket, you're banging, man. And I was like, man, this guy, he could fight. And I talked to you afterwards. Super cool guy.
Yeah.
You were very serious, right? And from then, I started talking to you and I got to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you're such a cool and humble guy. And you also have a very interesting life, I would say, man. But before we talk about anything like that and anything boxing, anything when it comes down to who you are as a person, I want to talk about how'd you get into boxing, man? Was it did you want to do boxing because you wanted to defend yourself? Was there a pro fighter that really inspired you? How'd you get into sport?
Well, I got into sport because when I was, I'll say about like 5 years old, all the way up until maybe 11, I was really into like WWE. Like growing up as a kid, I always used to watch that. And I would always used to watch with my dad. And then I always say, oh, I want to wrestle, I want to wrestle, put me in wrestling, put me in fighting. And then he waited till I was 10, and he finally put me in that Siege gym. It's an MMA gym to learn how to wrestle, and it was like a half jiu-jitsu, half boxing gym. And I originally went there to learn jiu-jitsu and learn how to wrestle, like the WWE fighters. And I seen him boxing, and I was like, I want to try that, And then he put me in that, and then for a couple of years I was doing both, and then I liked boxing more, so I just I stuck with that.
Yes.
That became the main thing,
So you said you were into WWE.
Yeah.
So what wrestlers were you into?
Probably The Undertaker. That was probably my favorite. And then Rey Mysterio, Triple H, Batista. I was into all those dudes, I had all the wrestlers. Like, it's hard to remember them now, but back then, like, I had two like they're like trash bags, full of just like the action figures, like the size of the water bottle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
you have the little ring too?
Yeah, I had the cage, and then I used to buy my friends over from elementary school, and we used to do the Money in the Bank wrestling themes or whatever. Like we would get a rope and an actual briefcase. We would tie it to the tree and use the actual ladder, and we were just reckless, We would just be in the backyard just going at it.
Yeah. Did you see the UFC fight? Did you see Adesanya walk out to the Undertaker?
Yeah, I was like, oh, man, dude, this guy's cold,
Yeah.
I always follow him, too, because he always does some, like, interesting stuff like that, I wish I was a little bit more into anime because I know he does, like, a lot of anime-based themes and everything. But, he has some nice walkouts. He's pretty creative.
That's pretty cool, man. So my favorite wrestler was Eddie Guerrero. That was mine, man. Dude, he used to come out, roll out with the freaking lowrider.
Yeah.
Make that thing bounce, man. That thing was badass, man. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero, man. So you were actually into wrestling, but how were you introduced to boxing?
Well, it was at the Siege gym, and I'm trying to remember. I think I was just watching him spar, and then I told my dad I wanted to try it out, and then he basically just said go ask coach, and then I was asking my coach. At the time, his name was Gabe. He's actually an MMA fighter. You know who that is? Gabe Kirk.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's an MMA fighter right now. I was just like, hey, can I go try it? Can I try it? Put me in. And then he showed me a little bit. He didn't already know that I already knew a little bit because of my dad, but he wanted just to show me just a little bit, and then just so he would be comfortable putting me in there, right? And then he finally put me in, and I basically just never got out.
Yeah. So talk about the first time you sparred someone. All right, you were in the gym, you're in the ring, and then all of a sudden, what are you thinking? How old were you? Were you scared?
Yeah.
And then when you got hit, what was your first reaction or your first thought?
Honestly, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. I probably didn't mind the pain, just because when you're fighting and you're boxing, your adrenaline's up. You don't really feel it till probably after the session or even the next day, but. I probably just like the excitement, being in a fight, like a real fight like that. So that's probably, because I'm only saying that because that's what I still like, that's what keeps me coming back. So it's probably the same.
Yeah, so you're basically a natural fighter, man, because usually people remember the first time, but I could see you getting punched and you just like, just be natural to you, and
Yeah.
you wanting to get him back because he
Yeah.
punched you.
Yeah.
Now, when you were a kid, man, was there a fighter that you looked up to or that you saw, in the pro ranks at that age that you said, man, I want to maybe one day do that?
Yeah. Uh, I don't know, honestly. I do remember my family, like my dad, he was always really into boxing, and so were his friends. So when there was a big fight, I remember they would come over, and then we would watch the pay-per-view fights, and then maybe it was like something like that. I was like, man, I kind of want to do that, be on a big stage like that. So that's no one really to look up to. Maybe just like it was just like the environment that I wanted to be in, like on that big stage. So no one really specifically, just where they were at, everyone in general.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. When you're a kid, what was one fight that you watched for your family that you remember?
Who was his name? I know his name. It was Mayweather, and who's that dude he knocked out in the 4th round when he wasn't looking? Victor Ortiz.
Victor Ortiz, yep.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember everything from that fight too. I remember Mayweather. He was wearing orange and black trunks and everything, and then freaking Victor, man, he was taking it to him for those 4 rounds, and then he got a little too excited or something, and then he just freaking headbutted him, and then that was the end of that. But that's the fight I remember.
Wow, that was an interesting one, man.
I think it was like May 7th too. It was my dad's birthday.
Yeah. So yeah, that was an interesting fight, man. It was like a fight that a lot of people were disappointed in.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed.
Yeah, because everyone was like, "Oh wow, Victor Ortiz,
doing really good.
Yeah, he was doing really good, man." And there's always that what if, what if he didn't do something stupid like that, you know? So that's kind of interesting that was the fight that you remember. Now let's talk about your amateur career.
Yeah.
How many
Very
fights
short.
did you have?
It was very short. I think I started when I was 16, actually, amateurs. But I've been boxing since I was 10. So as crazy as it sounds, for 6 years, I was just going to the gym. Probably just because I like doing it, you know what I mean? I didn't really need to train for anything. I just wanted to be there. But, I started when I was 16, and then I think I turned pro when I was 20. So I only had a 4-year amateur career, and I only had maybe 25 fights.
Wow, 25 fights. But sparring,
Yeah.
let's say those were your amateur fights.
Yeah.
How many fights would you if you
Countless.
combined them?
Countless, dude.
Countless?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't. When I ask them the question and I say, hey, what was your amateur career? You think, hey, I have a small amateur career, but if you include the times you sparred, man, those were kind of like it's the same thing as basically an amateur fight, but just with no winner or loses. Yeah. And so you have a lot of experience, per se, like for your amateur career.
Yeah.
Now, your amateur career was short. Did you get any accomplishments, man? Did you get invited to any big tournaments?
No, I mean I won a couple tournaments. I won Gene Lewis a couple times.
Okay.
I won a tournament out in Mexico at a heavier weight class. So that was a little accomplishment. I think my first loss as an amateur was like my 9th fight. So just little accomplishments, in a small career.
Yeah, well, Gene Lewis, winning Gene Lewis is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
They're probably the most recognizable tournament here in Arizona. So, okay, so your amateur career, and then did you always have that mindset like I'm gonna be a pro fighter?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're gonna become a pro, how did you feel? Because you're 7 fights in right now, but talk to me about your feeling when you first made that decision to make a pro, all the way leading up to your first pro fight, all the way leading into your first being in the ring.
Yeah. I can't say I was too nervous just because I never really get nervous before my fights, and even in the amateurs, just because I know the work I put in leading up to the fight, and so that's what kind of keeps me cool and calm and everything like that. But all I know is I was pretty excited. I was ready to do it. I wanted to feel what it was like to be in there with no headgear, because up until my first pro fight, I have never even sparred without a headgear.
Oh, wow.
And I was even asking my coaches too. I was like, hey, should we take the headgears off this session? And then he was like, nah, you're gonna cut. There's no need to risk that. He's like, you're gonna do fine and everything. So I was just real excited. I was ready to get in there and do it.
So I want to learn a little bit more of your personality, man.
Yeah.
Because you have this cool personality, man.
Yeah.
Were you always like that as a kid? I mean, were you like a little goofy kid, and all of a sudden you just morphed into
Dude,
this like cool?
honestly,
You know what I mean?
man, I was a pretty bad kid, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
I was
that's
a
new to me.
troublemaker. Like dude, I was a horrible kid. I wouldn't want a kid like me. It's probably gonna be my karma though. I'll probably end up having a kid that was like me, just for the karma.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was after high school. That's when I really started to calm down and everything,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a troublemaker.
So what
in,
high
like,
school did you go
eighth
to?
grade. Westview High School. Yeah.
And I mean, you said did you get in like school fights?
No, I never got nothing like that. It was just more of just like sneaking out with my friends, when
Okay.
I was in elementary school, like sneaking out the house and just going around just doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, being a kid, man. Being a kid. Yeah.
Making experiences with your friends. And I
Yeah.
still have all those friends too that I was doing all that crazy stuff with. It kind of made a pretty tight bond without even knowing,
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of the kids and a lot of the guys I was cool with in like 6th grade, all the way through elementary school, all the way through high school. And I'm still cool. Like I can call any of them up right now and be like, hey, you trying to hang out? Be like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It's cool that you have that friendship and that bond
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, we're actually all on a group chat, and then at any time, any of us have any kind of special events, we all show up.
Yeah.
So it's a real tight relationship I was making without even realizing it.
Mm-hmm. Is one of those friends Young Grease?
No.
How'd you meet him?
We actually met him through B, or I did actually,
Okay.
because B, he's real cool with him, and then I think Reese, he came over here to the gym like once or twice, and I seen him, and I just shook him up, and then I just got back to training. But that's how I met him,
Yeah.
through Reese, or through B. Actually, I met Reese the first time at Rocky Point with B, because
Really?
B and we went to Rocky Point just for a day trip, and yeah, we're hanging out over there with him for a little bit.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I saw him at the last Iron Boy event. He went to go over there to watch you fight and support you.
His girlfriend, Raylene, I actually went to high school with her. She
Oh,
was
wow.
in my math class.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we kind of know the same people. And one of those friends that I used to do all that crazy stuff with back all the way in like 6th grade. He's one of my best friends right now. His name's Alex. Alex used to play soccer with Reese when they were like in elementary school. Yeah, I was in elementary school. They used to play soccer with each other. So we know a lot of people, that.
Yeah, it's all connected. Small
Yeah.
world, man.
Yeah,
And
it
he's
is.
he's super cool guy too, man. I met him, and man, I didn't know he's that short, man. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know. I thought he was like in because my niece follows him.
Yeah.
They have like a YouTube channel and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I met him with B, man. And I was like, man, I thought that this guy was 5'10", but he's pretty short.
Yeah,
But he
he's
could
like
rap, man.
Yeah.
He could rap.
Yeah, I know. I follow him on Instagram, and I listen to all his little previews. And I'm like, dang, man, this guy, he's pretty creative.
Yeah. Yeah, he signed with French Montana.
I seen that. I was like, damn.
That's pretty
That's
legit
sick.
right there, man.
Hell yeah, it is.
Kind of like solidifies him that he could rap. That a fighter like or
A rapper.
a rapper like French Montana
Yeah.
signs him and has a deal.
Yeah.
So I guess is that the type of music you listen to right now, or that you've always been into?
Yeah, I'm getting more into that type of music because, like, for the longest time, for as long as I can remember, I was always into that real, like, hard, just, like, aggressive rap, But then up until January, I started calming it down, and I just been listening to more, like more mellow music, like more kind of meaniful music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the type of music where like the lyrics actually mean something, not just a bunch of like words thrown together that rhyme. I just been getting into a little bit of that. It's just because I was always into it. I just got bored of it. Of
So
that
name
stuff.
some rappers that you used to listen to. Some aggressive rap. 'Cause I'm curious.
Really, like all like the Little Babies and freaking Kodak Black. Who else? Da Baby. I used to listen to him. 21 Savage, Meek Mill, just like all those crazy rappers. You know what I mean? Those
And then-
mainstream rappers.
Yeah, and then now what do you listen to? What are some rappers that you listen to right now that you're into?
It's more of a alternative music. So like they're rappers that aren't too big. So I can't really remember the names off the top of my head, just because they're real. They're just like they're at that stage in their career where they're not big, but they're not small. They're kind of just in the middle. They're in that like little zone where they're just right there.
They're kind of underground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like underground rappers. But honestly, I can't remember the names off the top of my head because there's
Okay.
just so many just random rappers on that playlist.
But
that
what about a
make
song? Do you remember a song?
Uh, Half Mass.
Half Mast.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to it. I'm sure if I put Half Mast on Spotify,
Oh yeah, it'll pop up.
it'll
That's
pop
a
up.
good song. Mac Miller actually, there's a song by Mac Miller. It's called "The Spins,"
Uh-huh.
and you know who Mac Miller is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Mac Miller.
He took a verse or some of that song Half Mass and he put it into like a newer generation, like how Mac used to rap. You know what I mean? It's a really good song. You should listen to it. It's called Half Mass, or just look up "The Spins" by Mac Miller, because I don't even know the artists of Half Mass. Like I said, like they're kind of underground rappers, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, try to listen to that song.
Yeah,
It's
Mac
really
Miller
nice.
was when I was in high school. That's when he started coming up. I think in junior high too. And man, I remember when I forgot he had some shoes about some sneakers.
Yeah, Nikes on my feet.
Yeah, Nikes on my feet, man. That thing bumped, man. I remember
Yeah.
being on the bus and like,
Yeah.
whoa, what is this?
It's kind of, you know how that's kind of like a happier song, like it's like a happier set song. That's how The Spins is.
Yeah.
So you should definitely listen to that.
Oh
Song.
yeah, I'll listen to it. So and then, so that's a little bit of your music taste, man. But you also have a taste in like your style, man. Even your shoes right now. You got pink shoes
yeah.
right now. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
And I checked your Instagram. You have like, that coat. What is that made out of? That sick ass coat. That you have?
Dude, honestly, I thrifted that. I don't even know what it's
Really?
made out of. All I
You got
know is
that?
it's fresh.
Dude, it did look fresh.
Dude,
it looks
it was-
freaking expensive, man.
Yeah, it does. It's like one of those. That's why I like thrifting too, because you find gems like that. You know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? And I think I probably only paid like, I don't know, no more than $20 for it, but
Yeah.
it's probably a lot more. You know?
Yeah.
Straight off the freaking rack when it was fresh. But yeah, I have an interesting style, I think. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it's pretty like this is like my day-to-day outfits.
Yeah.
You know, I only dressed like that on that post just because I was probably going out on a special occasion. You know, but 90% of the time I'm just in gym shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know?
Where did that come from? Where did that style come from, man? Was it just like,
I don't know what I was doing honestly that night. It had to been pretty special if I got
Yeah.
dressed up like that, you
Yeah.
know. But I don't remember what I was doing. I think it was a New Year's thing. I went to Tempe.
Yeah.
And then I just got dressed up with my friends.
so? I mean, do you collect anything else? Like, do you collect shoes? Do you collect hats? Do you what
I like rings.
Rings?
Yeah, usually I'll
Wow,
buy
okay.
a ring after a fight. I think I have 7 actually right now.
Wow.
And I have 7 fights. So yeah, every fight I buy a ring. But I remember my first ring. It was a pink ring. My dad gave it to me, passed it down to me when he was my age. And that was a long time ago because my dad now, he works a lot. You know, he does AC business. He has his own AC business. And you know how like those outside workers and everything, their hands are like that thick, their fingers and everything like that.
My dad has that same thing. Yep.
Yeah, so and that ring won't fit him. It's like it's freaking tiny, you know, and it barely kind of fits my ring or my pinky. But that was my first ring right there. He gave me for my, I think, 18th birthday or something like that. You know, but yeah, that's why I be collecting just rings.
Yeah. So you have. That's an interesting collection, man. That's the first. You're the first person I've met that kind of does that. Even after every fight, right? You get a ring.
Yeah.
So what are you like? What type of rings do you like? What type of designs? Is it different every time, or does it have a theme?
No, they're all pretty different actually. They're usually diamonds. I always look for rubies. I remember. So my first 3 rings I bought, they were just like specifically, okay, I just want like a diamond ring. But after my 3rd ring, so my 4th ring, I was looking for a ruby ring. And then every time I go in, I'll look for one, but I can't find one, so I just walk out with like another like diamond set ring. You know what I mean? But I do be trying to look for ruby rings, but most of them are just regular diamonds. You know, different cut diamonds. Like I have a lot of champagne diamonds, and those are like just like the tiny little like fine stones and everything, and then just a bunch of like the VVS cut, just like the regular, kind of just looks like almost like a triangle. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
You know a lot about it, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I did not know that, man.
Yeah,
You're into.
you learn more. You learn a lot when you go shopping for them, you know, because the jeweler, she'll help you out or he'll help you out, and you know they'll kind of educate you on that kind of stuff and all the different types of cuts and everything. There's a lot to them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different cuts. What was it called? It's like I think it's called an infinity. I don't want to sound like a Thanos thing right now, but I think that's a real thing. It's called an infinity stone or something. And it was like a little ring, I remember. And she said it was an infinity stone. I was like, just because the way it was cut, I forgot how. I think it was more like it was almost like an oval shaped diamond. It was weird.
Yeah.
And it was so expensive. And I was like, why is it so expensive? And she's like, it's just because of the cut, you know?
Really?
And I'm pretty sure it was like an infinity or it was something weird like that. But yeah, they're all based on the cuts, you know?
So out of all your rings, which one's your favorite? And describe it to me.
It'd probably be, it's a solid gold lion, and it goes on, it fits on either one of these two fingers, your ring fingers. And there's no diamonds in it, it's just solid gold. I like 14 karat gold, one, because it's a little shinier than, no, 10 karat, my bad. I like 10 karat gold because it's a little shinier than the 14 karat.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 karat, it's a little more like,
Softer, right?
no, 14 karat, that's the
Okay.
softer.
Oh yeah, because the higher, because I took like geology
Yeah.
in college, and the higher the gold, the number of gold,
Yeah.
the softer it is, right?
Yeah, so the easier
Okay.
to scratch. So
Yeah.
that's why I kind of like 10 karat, just because, yeah, like I said, it's a little shinier and it's a little more solid. You know, it doesn't scratch easy. But it's a 10 karat, and it's just the face of a lion.
Wow.
I
That's your favorite one. When'd you get that one?
think my 6th fight.
6 fight. It's cool, man. So, are you into like any other jewelry, like
No.
necklace? Just
Oh, I
all
actually
rings?
I like bracelets. I actually have a bracelet. It's probably like half an inch, and it goes all the way around, and it's just champagne diamonds. And those are, like I said, like the very, very, it almost look like not powder, but just like little specks, you know. And they hit because they're all like really tiny and they're all so close together. You know what I mean? But yeah, just rings and bracelets. I'm not too big on chains or earrings like that. But I did used to have my ears pierced when I was in high school.
Yeah. So, and that's you as an adult. But as a kid,
Yeah.
did you collect? And besides your WWE collection,
Yeah.
were you into like trading cards? Were you into anything else that's like collecting?
No, I never
No?
been into kind of cards like that.
No. I was a Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Really?
Yeah, I was that.
Yeah.
I was trading them and
Yeah.
stealing them from kids.
Yeah. See, I was doing dumb stuff like that too, bro. You know, I don't know why, but
Yeah,
it was
I
just
mean, it's
kinda
all
like
when
the
we're
nature.
kids, man.
As long as I got out of that kind of stuff, you know,
Yeah.
so that's all that really matters.
So that's your style, man. What about your sneaker collection, man? Do you have a sneaker
Yeah,
collection?
I actually do. I have a lot of shoes. I mainly wear New Balance. I used to be like a heavy Reebok fan, but they started getting uncomfortable, you know. And then like the designs that they've been putting out lately, it's just they don't really catch my attention no more. And like I said, I'm a big like comfort when it comes to shoes. Like I like them really comfortable, so that's why I kind of transitioned to New Balance being my new favorite, and probably Yeezys. Yeezys are probably like one of the most comfortable shoes I wore.
You have them?
Yeah, I have 3 pair right now. Yeah, I only have like 3 pairs, but mainly I have New Balances. Like,
Yeah, and New Balances are really good, man. And have you tried Brooks?
No. Oh, I have a pair of their sandals. I already used to.
Oh
a
man, I
while
would
ago.
highly recommend. So, I'm a big time runner.
Yeah.
I love doing like cross country and 5, 10Ks and even
Yeah.
half marathons.
Oh man.
And Brooks are probably they're the most comfortable shoe out in the market right now, and they'll last you a long time. And to me, you know what I'm starting to find now is boxing and running. I mean, because how many miles do you run?
Probably anywhere between 15, 17 a week.
Oh yeah, man. So I would highly recommend you trying out Brooks, man, because they're super comfortable and they're made for running. Those are the number one running shoes in the country, and they're super comfortable and they're pretty cool design. I think I have some right now too. I'll show you afterwards.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about. Did you do any other sports besides any type of combat sports? Did you do basketball, soccer?
I did soccer when I was very, very young, like before 10. I was on a team, like it was like a little league team. I was probably maybe 5 or 6, and I only did it for a season, you know.
Yeah. So you've been just strictly combat sports since you were a
10.
kid.
Yep.
Damn. So you grew up with that mentality, man. So
Yeah, and I wrestled too in high school. I wrestled all 4 years.
okay.
I went to state, I think, 2 times, just my junior and senior year. I didn't place in state, but you know, I went. You had to place in the qualifier to get to state. You know, so I made it that far.
No, that's pretty cool, man. I didn't know you did in high school. And what's kind of crazy too is that there's the wrestling conditioning, right? And then fighting conditioning.
Yeah.
And I would say because you know how to condition as wrestling, like you kind of have an advantage for in other boxers because you probably do some drills or some stretching or something like that
Yeah.
are not boxing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And that it challenges your breathing.
Yeah.
It helps you with your conditioning, right,
Yeah,
man?
I 100% agree with you. There are two different, totally different types of cardios. Like I bet you a wrestler, he can wrestle like 10 rounds without, no problems, but he can't probably do, 3 rounds, 2 rounds in boxing because they're just completely, you're using a lot more different muscles with the two sports, and it's just two different cardios. So I agree with you on that. For sure.
So what do you do different? Because you have that wrestling background. Do you do anything different when you train in boxing that's kind of like wrestling-ish?
I probably do. I just don't even notice it anymore. I'm trying to really think if I do anything outside the box.
Do you do any wrestling drills or?
No, maybe just like I don't think so. I don't think I do. Maybe I do, and I just don't even realize it. 'Cause I've been doing it for so long, keeping the same routines, and I do a lot of training like outside of my house. So it's kind of hard to compare to see if I'm doing something different than what other people are doing. Because when I'm here in the gym, we kind of do all the same things, but when I'm in my garage or at the fitness gym, I move at a different pace. So maybe I don't know.
Well, that's kind of unique, man. And you have something in common with Terrence Crawford. He was a wrestler.
Yeah.
And I feel like those years of wrestling really helped your conditioning out. Maybe expand your lungs a little more.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That's a cool thing that you have under your sleeve. Now let's talk about a day with you. When you wake up, how does a training day look like for you?
Well, I'll wake up around like 6:30 because I have to go to work at 7, and I'll get off at 3:30, and then I'll go to my house. I'll eat something real quick, and then I only have about 30 minutes to myself just to kind of like unwind a little bit, and then I'll go straight here to the boxing gym. We start at 5 to 7, and then after this, I'll either go, depending what day it is, I'll either go to the running gym or I'll go to my garage, and then I'll have a second session of the day. And then after I'm done with that and I'm done eating and showering, it's probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then just going back to bed because I have to wake up at 6:30 again.
And that's Monday through Saturday?
Monday through Friday. Saturday, we just train once in the morning, whether it be sparring or running. Like yesterday, we went to Tempe and we ran some it's called like A Mountain. And so on Saturdays, we just train once. And then Sunday, these are my off days where I just take the whole day off, just try to relax.
Okay, so that's your training day, right? And kind of you do the same thing, but a little bit more intense when you're gonna go and you're actually in camp.
Yeah.
So let's talk about when you're after the weigh-ins, man. What is your favorite meal?
Probably pasta. Anything with pasta,
Do you have a specific pasta or specific meal like spaghetti, Alfredo, lasagna?
Well, I do love Alfredo, but it's not recommended to eat that just because it has that white sauce, and that's the heavy, thick sauce. So it'll probably be like spaghetti, right, with the red sauce, and probably like shrimp added into it.
Yeah.
That's a good meal.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite.
I'm a lasagna guy, man. I love
lasagna. Yeah, see? I like that too.
Have
you ever had the Pasta Factory? It's on the street.
Haven't.
It's actually down the street from Sonny's gym. It's on that Yuma Street. I'm pretty sure they're on the same street.
Pasta Factory, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
It's a restaurant or is it like a fast food place?
No, it's a restaurant. Okay. It's actually a little hole in the wall. Like you would never think that. Like you walk in and you're almost walking to like a different building. Like it's so fancy in there. But like the outside, I'm not trying to like. They're watching you now. I'm not trying to like down on them. Like you'll never expect it, because it's kind of like a beat up building. It's green, and but when you walk in, it's like a completely different restaurant. It's like real high class and everything. And
I'm gonna have to check it out.
They have some of the best pasta there, man. It's good. The meal I get when I go there, it's I don't know how to say it because it's Italian. But do you like seafood?
Yeah.
It has like 5 different types of seafood in there, like octopus, shrimp, scallop, and like 2 other ones. And I'm talking like they'll have like full mini little octopuses in there with like all the tentacles and everything.
Well, I'm gonna have to check that out, man. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So
Pasta Factory.
Now, what is your favorite dessert?
Man, I like a lot of sweets, honestly. Probably ice cream from like Dairy Queen,
Yeah.
like a Blizzard.
Oh yeah, man. That's me too, man. Oreo Blizzard.
Yeah, or any
Oh,
kind of
man,
Blizzard, but
mine-
Oreo Blizzards are pretty fire too. I like
man.
cheesecake Blizzards, like
Yeah.
with the strawberry ice cream. Like
Yeah.
I'll have to ask them to put strawberry ice cream because usually like they'll just go straight to the vanilla and to put the cheesecake things in there. But I'll ask for strawberry ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, me, man, it's Kit Kat, it's Snickers, Oreos, man,
Yeah.
dude.
You throw it all in there, huh?
Oh,
Just
man.
you don't care, they'll charge you extra.
Yeah. No,
Like,
man.
charge me whatever you want. Just put it all in there.
Exactly, man. I like gummy bears. I kind of grew out of gummy bears, but
Gummy bears are actually very good. I like those.
yeah, man. See,
Those are a good workout snack too.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not cane sugar. It's not like table sugar. It's I forgot the name of it. It's like a different, very fast burning sugar. And if you eat them during a workout, they kind of give you that little boost that you'll need if you're feeling a little fatigued.
oh wow.
Like the
Yeah.
Gold Pack gummy bears. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a little tip for you.
Little tip that
Yeah.
you learned,
Yeah.
or something that you're telling yourself to eat it.
No. I mean, I learned actually a lot of little tricks
Yeah.
like that when I worked at GNC. You know that?
Oh,
what is-
yeah.
what does it stand for? Like General Nutrition Store or
Yeah,
something like that.
GNC, everyone knows that.
Yeah, GNC. I worked there for maybe 3 months, and then I learned a lot of little tricks like that. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of little supplement tricks and everything. So I'm glad I went over there.
Yeah. So, your favorite meal, your favorite dessert. Now, after the fight, right, when you're done, what do you do afterwards, man? How do you recover? How do you get your mind off of boxing?
It's very hard, man. Cause like usually the day after my fight, I'll go to the gym. Like I'll go like my last fight, my 7th fight. We went all 6 rounds. This is my first 6 round too, and we went all 6 rounds. I did really good. I was watching the fight. I barely got hit, but for some reason, like my arms from like my shoulders to my wrist, they were just like sore. You know what I mean? Like it was very hard to like stretch. Like my forearms, everything was sore. And I went to the gym the next day, and that's all I did was just like my biceps, triceps, and my forearms. And I don't know why, but like you know how like if you smell like good meat or something like outside of Food City or whoever's grilling, like kind of makes you like clench your teeth. I was getting that same like kind of satisfaction with my muscles. Like every time I would do a curl or extension, like my muscles are all torn apart from the fight. But every time I would like contract them or do whatever, I don't know, it just felt like really good, like tearing all those muscles again,
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard to rest after a fight, if it was what I'm trying to say,
Wow,
'Cause
that's
I just want to get back into the gym.
you're dedicated, man. But also recovery is really, really, really important.
Yeah, it is.
Now-
It's a curse.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing,
Yeah.
and I'd rather have a fighter like you that I have to tell him to, hey, take it easy, than a fighter that's like, hey, you have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because that's harder to teach, man. That's harder to push.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can't teach that. You just have
No.
to have it, you know?
you have to have that love for it, man. And I see that you have that love for it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this gym, man. Like, you guys were at Sonny's, right? Or what gym were you at before this?
Damn, what gym? I was at, man, I don't even know. It's been so long. I have a horrible memory.
Yeah.
But I went to a couple gyms, actually. I went to Siege. I went to Sonny's. I went to Rodriguez's a couple times.
Okay.
I was sparring at Aztecas, throughout all, up until like, I think I came here at like 2016, 2015 maybe. I was traveling a lot and I was doing like a lot of gym hunting and, so I don't know. It was just a bunch of gyms before I finally settled down here in 2016.
Yeah, man, it's a super nice gym. Like I didn't expect it to be this, first off, this clean, and then everything's like put in order. It's very organized.
Yeah, it's well thought out.
Yeah, it's well thought out, man. It's bigger than I thought. And
what is it? It's 10 degrees? You see that
yep, 100
thermometer
degrees.
right there?
Yep, my phone or my camera might it might overheat, but it's all right. I have these ice packs, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. And I'm glad that you're here. And I like the name Fighters First. And now let's talk about. I was talking to
Dwayne.
Dwayne, yes, Sebastian's dad.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, man, that you're kind of like a fighter coach, man. You help out a lot of the amateurs, I guess. Where does that come from within you, man? Like, why do you want to help out the next generation?
I don't know. There's really like I don't have I don't have like a reason to do it. You know, I just kind of do it. You know, if I see someone that needs help, well, if I see someone that could use advice that I have, then I'm gonna give it to them, and it's kind of just up to them if they want to take it or not. You know, it's just I feel like that just comes from just being like a, I don't know, I don't want to say it, but like, you know, I think I'm a pretty humble guy. You know what I mean? So it just comes from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can
Like
have that
the other
demeanor
day-
too.
Yeah, like the other day, we were sparring. What was it, Thursday? And the dude that came through, he only wanted to do 6 rounds, but I was trying to get my full 8 in. And there's a kid, Romeo, over here. He's an amateur. He's real tall. He's skinny. He's almost about my height, but he fights at, I think, like 120 or like 126, something like that. So I sparred 6 rounds. He wanted to just, you know, call it at 6. And then I called Romeo in, and I was like, hey, man, just throw your punches to work on what you need to work on. I'm going to work on my defense, basically, you know. So I got my last 2 rounds in like that. And at the end, I was just giving him all the pointers that, you know, I seen when we were sparring. And then I made sure to tell him, too, like, hey, man, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not saying you're doing bad. I just want to let you know, like, you know, what you can do, you know, to make yourself better. And I was telling him, too, I was like, dude, when you're sparring me, I was like, just throw like you're hitting the bag, you know. I was like, you know how you know the bag's not gonna throw back, and you know you're willing to throw it all on the bag. I was like, just do that with me too. Like, get comfortable, actually throwing them on people, not just the bag. And I was like, cause I'm not gonna hit you hard, dude. You know, I was like, just throw whatever you want to throw, you know. So I just like helping people out.
Yeah, man, and that's pretty cool. I know you help out Sebastian too, man.
Oh yeah.
And you know, Alfredo Scotti's here. What other fighters are here?
We got Red, Brian, I don't know, Brian Miranda or something like that. I don't know how to say his last name. He's one of our pros. I think he has 1 or 2 fights. I feel kind of bad just because his last 3 fights, man, they fell through, you know. So I'm just like, man, he could have 5 fights by now.
Wow.
But they just keep on falling through. I think he fights at like 118 or 122.
Okay.
And yeah, so those are like the pros here is me, Fredo, or Junior, Red, which is Brian, and we also have a dude, Miguel, that comes through. He's a pro, but he actually I don't know, he took a break for some reason. I forgot what was the reason he took a break for, but yeah, we have like about 4 pros here right now.
Yeah, no, and you guys have good camaraderie here over here. Now, do you spar like Alfredo? Do you sometimes spar him? And you guys kind of all spar each other, right?
Yeah.
So talk about, you know, the work that you get with Alfredo and even Little Beast, man. Like, because Little Beast, man, he just got a growth spurt, man. Now
I know, man. Dude, I want some of that growth spurt, man.
Yeah.
He's lucky. I swear. What was that picture? It was April 2021,
you were showing me.
man. So from April 2021 to now, that's not even a year, is it?
Yeah.
No, huh? Is it a year or no? It's like 9
No.
months.
Yeah. It's 9
Like
months.
9 months, he grew like almost 6 inches, bro.
Yep.
I'm like, holy crap. And then he weighs more than me now. Some days,
Wow.
like after the gym, we'll go weigh ourselves. He'll be weighing more than me, just by like a pound, you know. But he still, he got his weight up, man. And he was always good work, but now he's even better work because when he grew those couple of inches, like, you know, he carries a lot more strength with him now, you know. So I'm pretty blessed, man, because I'm in that. Like, my weight, I'm like around 140 or so. And my height, it kind of puts me at a position to be able to spar really anyone from, like, heavy welterweights all the way down to, like, you know, Red. Red, he fights at, like I said, 118, 122. So from, I would just say 122 all the way up to probably, like, people that get up to, like, 160, I could spar them just because if I don't have the weight, I have the height. But if I'm too high or if I'm too tall for them, my weight's not that heavy, so it's not like I can't spar them, you know?
Yeah.
So I get a lot of different type of people I get to spar.
It's good, man.
I'm in like a sweet spot, you know?
Yeah, and it's good that you're seeing all these different styles, man. And, you know, you're one of the few up-and-coming Arizona fighters, man, that I'm really excited about because I know your fighting style, first off, is really, really fun and exciting. But your jab, man, your jab is solid.
Yeah.
And you're very patient in there, man, and you don't panic.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about your last fight, right? Jesus Ibarra fought him, right? And Jesus Ibarra, man, completely just, that dude was confused. Jesus Ibarra just freaking demolished him.
Yeah, I was trying to find that fight on YouTube. It's not on YouTube, huh?
No. Oh, yeah, it is. It's on, well, it's on,
Did you post
Iron
it?
Boys.
Oh,
Iron
it's on-
Boys. YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah.
It's on their Facebook. And you fought the guy. I forgot what was his name. I forgot
It
his
was
name.
German. His first name was
Yeah,
German.
yeah, yeah.
German Ivan or some shit.
Maraz or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised that you took that fight, because I'm like, this guy's tough, man. He's fought a lot of tough fighters here, and he's given a lot of tough work to them, you know.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like a crafty. He knows how to use his experience, man. And you took him, I'm like, wow, man, this might be a little dangerous for Andre, but you know, you got the W, and that fight, man, it was kind of awkward because he was holding a lot and he wasn't really throwing, and I would say it was your most difficult fight. Even though you won, it was difficult for you. I could tell it was.
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think about your last fight?
I thought it was pretty good, man. I definitely won every single round. I watched it probably maybe like 10 times already. And the first 4 rounds, I was just staying on the outside. I was being a little bit more composed. And then I remember, you can see it too in the 5th round in the video. I started pressing the action a little bit more because my coach, Alfredo, he actually seen that. Like, I was just staying on the outside, just playing everything smart. And then he was all right, man. So he was like, all right, show this guy who he's in there with now, all right? And then the 5th and 6th round, you can tell that I started pressing the action a little more. And that kind of just helped me out and the judges, just because it just showed everyone I was fighting at my pace the whole time, you know?
Yep.
Like, if I wanted to stay on the outside and just use only 2 punches, that's what I was doing for the first 4 rounds. And for, like, people that aren't really into boxing, it might have been a little boring, you know? So I'm actually glad Alfredo said, all right, start pressing the action a little bit more and, you know, basically kind of give the people what they want, you know, what they pay to see. And then the last 5th and 6th rounds, that's when I was pressing the action.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even say the fight was boring, man.
Well, it's hard for you not to say that because you like boxing, so you can appreciate like a boxing match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to the people that watched that fight, right, maybe thought it was boring.
Yeah.
It wasn't you.
Yeah.
Right. It was more of of your opponent, because your opponent, man, he was grabbing a lot.
Yeah, and
he was
just running
moving.
away.
He didn't want to throw a lot of punches, man.
Yeah, he's surviving.
He was just surviving. So it's tough to be that type. First off, to fight a fighter like that, right? I want to, you know, excite the fans, because you need a good dance partner, right? And you didn't want to dance with you, man.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and that's, like you said, that's what it is, man. But I'm really excited, man, about your career, man. Now, do you have any sponsors right now with you? Are you looking for any sponsors?
I'm always looking for sponsors. I'm always looking for, like, you know, new people to work with and help me out or help me help them out, you know, bring us up together and everything. But my main sponsor is VIP Cuts. It's the barbershop on 107th Thomas. Who else? F1, the real estate company, Dwayne's wife. And those are really my main sponsors right now, man.
What about the Ape Strong? Is that a sponsor?
That's more Junior's sponsor. Okay. You know, they're pretty interested in him, so they're just riding out him right now. You know what I mean? They're rolling with him.
Just wait a couple fights, and then they'll be coming on, knocking on your door.
Yeah, I would definitely appreciate that, man. They come out with some nice shirts. I'm like, man, that shirt would look pretty good on me. You know? Yeah,
man. You know, one thing I want to talk about too, man, is I think you have a pretty interesting haircut, man. I haven't seen that haircut in a while.
Yeah.
You have like that old Pachuco look.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So have you always had that?
Yeah. Ever since probably like the middle of freshman year. And it used to be long too. Like I don't really like.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really keep my hair past my eyebrows. You know, I always tell my barber just, you know, clip it right at the eyebrows. But dude, it used to be all the way down to my chin. Like I used to be able to put it in my mouth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I used to do it the same way. It just used to go back a little further, like all the way on the back of my head, you know. But yeah, and it's kind of like a natural look too. Like I don't really have to do it. Like I'll just get out of the shower, and you know how obviously like if you have long hair, your face is gonna fall, or your hair's gonna fall on your face. I just have to make sure just to, you know, put it back, you know, just with my hands, and then it'll dry like that, and then it'll just stay like that.
Let me know that you're kind of like Johnny Bravo, bro. You just go and it goes back that way.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, like some days, if I do, because like I said, it's a natural look. You know, I don't have to use like any kind of pomade or nothing. But if I want to use pomade, then I'll look like a Johnny Bravo or something like that. You know, it'll look like freaking perfect. I'm like, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And you got a couple tats, man. Let's talk about your tats. Tell me the meaning behind all those.
Well, this one
And describe it because they're not able to see it. So
well, yeah. So I just had the Aztec calendar, and then I have like Polynesian work, and I'm not Polynesian or I'm not Islander. I just kind of like the way,
yeah, the way it looks.
Yeah, I just like the way it looks, and I got that straight out of high school. I think a couple weeks after I graduated, so that was in 2017. And then I think it was in 2019 or beginning of 2020, I just finished the rest of my sleeve. And it was actually a dude, his name's Luis, I don't know his last name. You know that gym Siege I was talking about, the MMA gym, jiu-jitsu gym I started at?
Yeah.
I actually used to train with him, Luis, and I kind of forgot about him. And then when I hit him up, I didn't recognize him at all, right? I hit him up, asked him what his schedule was like, and he told me his schedule. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's really nice to hear from you again, man." Blah, blah blah blah. And then I went to his house, and then he showed me a picture of me and him when I was like 13, and he's a little older than me. He's probably like, I'm 23. He's probably maybe like 26. So I was 13. He was probably 16, and he showed me a picture. I was like, "Holy crap, dude!" I was like, "That's crazy," you know what I mean?
He remembers you,
Yeah, and I felt kind of bad because I didn't really remember him, but he started jogging my memory, and I was like, "Oh, okay, now I know, I remember you." But yeah, he finished my sleeve. I got this. It's like lion eyes, and then I got the Jesus right here, the Jesus face with the cross, and then it's just an angel.
I'm curious, the lion eyes, what is that? It's because it's blue.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted something that was pop, the lion eyes, and then.
I see that lion has that cut right there.
Yeah, a lot of people thought when I posted a picture of it, they thought I was bleeding. They're like, "Are you bleeding?" And I'm like, "No, that's just like I told them."
Does that kind of signify like the fighter in you?
Honestly, a lot of people think, "Oh, is it because you're a Leo?" Because I was born in August.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, no, it's not really because of that. It's because I really like lions, And that's one of the things I grew up with. My dad and we always used to watch Animal Planet, and then that was like lions and the Nile crocodiles. those were like my main things that I loved watching. And so yeah, that's why I got a lion. And like that ring that I was telling you about, my favorite ring, it's a lion. So,
makes sense now.
Yeah, I just like lion. It just so happened I'm a Leo or whatever, you know. But I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
so your birthday's coming up. When's your birthday?
August 19th.
19th. Mine's the 27th.
Of August?
Yeah, of August.
Hell yeah.
I'm not a Leo, I'm a Virgo.
Oh.
Not that that's bad or not. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I mean, the whole astrology thing, man. Obviously, we've searched it up, man.
Do you believe in that kind of stuff? Do you
I
like
believe?
Follow it?
You know, I feel like everything has its truth, right? And it's kind of weird how sometimes accurate it is, right? Or how sometimes you read the astrology and the personality of that person, and you're just like, whoa, what the heck? I mean, I don't know if I believe in it, but it's just interesting to hear about.
It is interesting. Yeah, it definitely is interesting, but I don't ever believe it,
Yeah.
I'm like one of those dudes like, man, just because how all these freaking stars aren't lined up does not mean I'm gonna act a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I don't. That's
the moon.
like the moon doesn't affect me really in any kind of way. Maybe to the ocean because that's like facts.
Yeah.
You know how the moon affects the ocean and the waves because like. When the moon goes around the earth, it kind of pulls the waves. That's what gives us the oceans and all the stuff like that.
Yeah, you're a smart guy, man. Animal Planet,
Yeah, I mean, I'm into that too, like Animal Planet and space, like learning about like different planets and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm definitely into that kind of stuff. Like I swear, there's probably not a documentary about like black holes and stuff on YouTube that I haven't watched.
So is that? I mean, I don't know if you even know, but is that kind of one thing that you do to get your mind out of boxing is documentaries of science, man.
Yeah,
I know you're into
probably.
science.
Yeah, honestly, like I probably do a lot of stuff that I don't even realize, But that is definitely probably one of the things that I do or I'm interested in. That on my breaks when I'm after a fight or something. Because that's definitely what I do is when I'm on my breaks and everything, I just binge watch. I just stay on my bed, and those are one of the main things I watch is Animal Planet and stuff about space.
Yeah. Oh man, I love documentaries too, man. And that's kind of cool, man, that you're into science and stuff like that. It's different.
Check this out, look.
Yeah.
Watch. I'm just going to show you my home screen. I just have notifications right here. I'm trying to clear. Look at what my home screen is.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's 2 black holes.
That is nice. That is nice.
That's bad, bro. A lot of people look at that and they're like, oh, it's just 2 black holes. But that's insane. Like, to them be right next to each other, like something catastrophic is about to happen.
So that's a what if, right? Like someone drew that.
Yeah, that's like a illustration that someone just came up with. But
Well, that
probably
looks
what they
beautiful,
look
man.
like. Yeah, that's probably what they look like, you know.
That's crazy,
When they have
man.
all kinds of stars mixed into their little gravitational pool and stuff like that.
So do you read any books?
No, but
Hello, everyone, and thank you for listening to the podcast for this long. Really means a lot. I also want to remind you guys to please like, share, comment, and subscribe to All Around Boxing TV. I also want to say thank you to Drizzle, Andre Rodriguez, man. We had a good conversation, and I hope the Arizona boxing fans get to know you not only as a boxer, but as a person. And I'm sure if you stay dedicated and focused, your goals will become a reality. And to any businesses that want to help Andre, his Instagram will be down below. Again, the next part of the video is coming up. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to All Around Boxing TV, and enjoy.
I don't really like reading books just because they're a little too slow for me, you know.
Or audiobooks.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can read an audiobook or I'll listen to an audiobook, but books for me, like, they're just too slow, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm more like I'd rather watch a movie or a documentary and
Yeah.
stuff, you know. But if I do find something interesting to read, you know, I don't really have trouble kind of like projecting that image, what the author's trying to, you know, describe.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty good at like just kind of imagining it in my head, and I can really see what the author's like putting out, you know.
Yeah.
But it has to really grasp my attention.
Yeah.
For me to be able to do that.
Oh man, I'm me with reading, man. I'm okay with reading, man. I'll read to my daughter like kids books. Like I'm a pretty animated guy like that, and I could like, you know, kind of hat type of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's the books I like to read, man. Are like self-help and shit like that. You know, like how to get better as a person, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Motivational stuff.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to talk to you about is your love for cars, man. Because you have
Camaro.
a Camaro. It's black, sick, man. Have you always been a Chevy guy? Have you always been into cars and stuff like that?
I mean, yeah, I follow a lot of pages and stuff like that. Like if you go on my Instagram, it's a lot of just motorcycles and cars, like, you know, like more like supercars, like Ferraris and stuff like that. But I do like muscle cars and everything. Like when I was shopping for that, I was actually looking for a Challenger too, but no one really had them on the lot. It would have been a what is it called? When you flip the coin up, what is that? A toss up.
A toss up, yeah.
If whoever had it, you know, like if I found a dealership that had a really nice Dodge, I probably would have got the Dodge. Or if I found a dealership with a really nice Camaro, so I went with that one. But it would have been a toss up between the two because I like Challengers and Camaros. I like Challengers though because they have more of that old fashioned like muscle car look. You know how like, there's not really too many bends and curves. They just have like it's like a lot of them followed a specific body type. I feel like the Challenger, it looks more like an old-fashioned type of car.
Yeah, it looks like a freaking pit bull, man. It looks
Yeah.
like jacked, you know, like tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Challengers a lot, man. If I were to get, I mean, I like Fords, but
Like
I would.
Mustangs?
Yeah, I don't like the Mustangs now. The old Mustangs are now. The new Mustangs I really don't like. But
Old Mustangs, like when they
yeah.
had the louvers still built in on the windows and stuff.
Yep, I like those, man. I like, you know, anything from, 80s below.
Yeah.
But the new Mustangs, and especially the EV ones now, you don't have that grill. It's just like a flat grill. And I've seen when you're in the freeway, you know how you pick up a lot of the bugs. So all you see is bugs now, because you know usually there's grills and the bugs go inside it.
Yeah.
So you don't see those bugs. So I don't like the new ones from that, but I do like. I've always liked the Challengers, especially the year that they came out with that body style.
Yeah.
Man, that's sick, man. Now let me ask you this question: like, I want you to think a little bit ahead of time, right? Let's say you became world champion, right? What is one car you're gonna buy? Like, let's say if you have the opportunity to become world champion, you're making the money that you want.
Yeah.
What is the first car you're gonna buy?
Probably a '69 Chevy.
Okay.
Super Sport, the SS.
Okay.
I probably won't. I'm probably not gonna go into like a Ferrari or nothing like that. It's gonna be like
Old school.
fashioned. Yeah. And it's gonna be a Super Sport too. You know, it's gonna be like a really really fast one.
That's cool, man.
But definitely a '69, just because I think that's the best year, honestly. That's like from all the reviews and like the stuff I look up on YouTube. It looks like just those. I don't know. They just built those different. You know what I mean? And that car is probably 200,000, anywhere from 200,000 to 300,000. It's just as much as a Ferrari. You know, they're expensive. Like if you get it straight off like those like display ones, like in the kind of like the old car museums. If you buy it off that'd probably be really really expensive like that.
You know what I would do? So I have I think a 58 F100 my dad gave me. I'll fix that up and make it to an EV. Have you seen those EV trucks? Oh man, they get retro trucks,
Yeah.
and they make them EVs. So inside's like a Tesla,
Yeah.
and you open the hood,
Yeah.
and it's electric.
Oh man.
And so you're able to drive in the freeway in the
Yeah.
in the HOA, and you get that green tag, and it's odd, right? You have like this old truck
Yeah.
that's an EV.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do, man. I love yeah. Yeah, do you have a old school truck that you could just charge up and boom,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you like Teslas and stuff like that?
Teslas. Yeah, I like Teslas, man. I mean, you know what I like? I like more trucks, man. I like more like there's Rivian, like the Rivians. Have you seen the Rivian trucks? So they're new EVs that you actually see them a lot in Scottsdale.
Yeah. You see all the nice stuff in Scottsdale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, I work there right now, and you just see a Ferrari, you're just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a different world over there, man.
I feel like you know how on this side of towns you see like a lot of Hondas and Nissan stuff?
Yeah.
Like Scottsdale's Hondas and Nissans are like their Porsches. I swear every time I go to Scottsdale it's just Porsche, like every freaking
four-door Porsche.
Yeah.
You'll see a G-Wagon.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
G-Wagons are nice too. I like those.
But man, that's cool, man. And I'm so glad that you took time Sunday to come talk to me, man. And I got to get to know you a little bit more. I didn't know you're a science guy, man. I'm gonna have to, next time I see you, I'm gonna have to give you some intelligent questions.
Yeah. Hey,
see
man,
if you know 'em.
If you ever see anything on your Instagram, like pop up on your feed and it looks interesting, send it to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I love when people send me all kinds of like crazy like stuff about space and stuff.
Yeah, man. That's like I said, that's pretty cool and interesting about you, man. But thank you for taking off your time off this, your busy schedule and coming to talk to me this Sunday, man. I'm gonna be looking at obviously following your career. I'm trying to put Arizona fighters like yourself on the map because
We need people like you, man.
yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. And it's all passion. That the reason why I'm doing it. And I used to do the whole traveling thing and trying to get like big fighters and going to Vegas and honestly, I get more out of fighters like you, man, that are just coming up because then I built a relationship with you. You obviously seen my other podcasts I've had, and man, it's just the relationship that I built with the fighters, man. That's what drives me to do this because I'm like, man, okay, I know Andre. I got to talk to Alfredo. I'm about to talk to Alfredo. In maybe a couple minutes, right? He's gonna show up, and I talked to Little Beast, right? And I want to catch the amateurs, because to people watching this, man, and let's say you're not from Arizona. Arizona has good fighters, and Arizona. I mean, you guys can come over here to F1. You go to Old School. You go to Broadway, Central, anywhere, man. You're gonna get good work here, and I truly believe, man. I miss those days of people saying that Arizona used to be the mecca of boxing. Fighters used to come here to train. They used to go to Madison. They used to come to Central. And I'm like, man, I want those days because A, it's gonna give you guys good work. B, I don't have to go chase these fighters, right, and go to different states, so it's gonna help me grow my brand. But also, man, I want to get back to that stage to where Arizona's known for boxing, man. Yeah. And I'm so glad there's fighters like you, Alfredo, even the fighters I've interviewed prior to this podcast that are hungry because we need fighters like you, man. And one advice I would give you, I'm gonna say this to every fighter I talk to, man, is be consistent. This sport is about consistency. Yeah. It's about and you are consistent. But just a little friendly reminder, it would be, man, just you want to fight at least 3 times a year.
Yeah, 4 really.
Yeah, 4. But at one point, man, if you look at Carlos Castro's career, David Benavidez' career, you look at Keenan Carvalho's career, Abel, even Mono. Yeah. At one point, they fought like 6 times in 1 year. Yeah. 7. Yeah. I think David fought like 7 times in 1 year. And they did it. Boom. They fought maybe like 2 times in Mexico and 4 times over here. I remember Carlos Castro when he was coming up. Yeah. Man, it was crazy. Iron Boy would have a show. Yeah. And then they had a show the following month, and he's on that card. And all of a sudden, I'm like, 4 or 5 months in throughout the year, and Carlos fought like 5 times already or 4 times already. 1 time in Mexico, 4 times here, and I'm like, dude, and he's fighting every time, man. And look at he's in with Top Rank. Mm-hmm. Keenan Carvalho, good example, man. Consistent, right?
Who's that dude? Is that the dude that trains in like Guadalupe or something like that?
Keenan Carvalho? Yeah. Keenan Carvalho is the guy that fought Leo Santa Cruz.
Yeah, in Guadalupe.
Yeah, no, well...
Keenan's... I know his name is Carvalho, I just know... I forgot his first name.
Yeah, so Keenan, he doesn't... I don't know...
Like Beto or something like that.
Yeah, Beto. I don't know if he fights... If he trains at Guadalupe. Mm-hmm. I think he trains behind his his house because his house has like kind of like this, like an outdoor gym.
Yeah.
But he, man, just consistent, man. He just fought like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he got called up, fight Leo Santa
Leo.
Cruz.
Did you watch that fight? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I fought it, man. Like I said, I always tell people, Keenan, I think he kind of shot himself in the foot fighting the fighters that he did before him.
Yeah.
If he would have fought like B-level fighters,
Yeah.
2 fights before,
Yeah.
and kind of increased it, I think he would have beat him.
Yeah, that's my main thing. Every time the promoters ask us what kind of fight we want, we just tell them step up from the last one.
Yep.
We never want to backtrack. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's what they've been telling me. They've been asking me that for this fight coming up July 30th. They're like, what kind of fight do you want? Like just the next level up. You know what I mean? I don't want to backtrack. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't want to shoot myself in the foot.
Yeah, you don't want that because like, imagine Keenan, man, like he was, D-level,
like 30
D-level,
fights,
D-level,
yeah.
yeah, 30 fights with fighting D-level fighters, and then you get your opportunity, and then I thought it was just too big of a jump.
Yeah.
I was banking maybe on a knockout, like a shotgun knockout, right, from him, but I think it was too big of a jump, and now he knows, okay, I can hang with the best, right, one of the best.
Yeah.
So hopefully he fights soon, man. Hopefully he fights, a fighter that is a little bit better, right? Like a B, maybe an A minus level fighter, a B
Yeah.
plus level fighter, man. Because it just brings more attention to you guys, and you guys are able to maybe fight in this undercard
Yeah.
or something like that. So,
Yeah.
Andre, man, first off, Drizzle, appreciate you coming and
Oh, yeah.
talking to me,
Oh, yeah,
man.
bro. Thank you.
Hey, man.
Thank you for coming out, man.
No, man, thank you, man. Like I said, I'll be following your career, be consistent. I'll be here supporting you, man, and thank you, man.
Cool. One more. Hell yeah.